I'd like to talk a bit about your book because I found very interesting the topic that you described in the book. And so I wanted to ask, in the creative process, you have a scientific approach to creativity. But when you were a child, what was your relationship with it? I mean, were you a creative child, or did you start training your creativity by growing up? Like in your book, you say that creativity can be trained. Did you start to train creativity growing older, or you were a creative child since the beginning?
Well, one of the things I think is that my definition of creativity is sort of changed and enlarged over time. Now I sort of recognize and realize that creativity isn't just sort of traditional art, but it's also entrepreneurship, it's problem solving. There's a much broader world of creativity than I think somewhat maybe what we're taught in school. And so as a kid, I was, definitely there was phases where I was doing very creative things, but I wasn't necessarily aware that they were creative sort of with a capital C. And so over the years, I've sort of realized and looked back at what I've done and realized, a lot of things I did were creative. And that's actually empowered me to now, look at fields that I've never done before and maybe feel a lot more intimidating and pursue them because I know that it's something you can learn and something you can nurture and something you can actually get better at.
And also related to this changing of your proper definition of creativity over time, how would the child Alan react to the current Alan, and also vice versa? What would you like? What would you tell to the child Alan starting growing older?
Yeah, I mean, I think the younger version of me would be sort of surprised that I sort of pursued a career that's very focused on, nowadays, it's very individual. Like I don't have a large team. I invest by myself. I write, which is sort of a more solitude-ish, I don't know if that's the right word, activity, although there's a lot of people involved sort of behind the scenes that people don't really sometimes realize. So I think that would be sort of surprising because I think as a kid, I always thought I wanted to run large organizations and large teams. And turns out I actually really like having a lot of solitude and working sort of by myself, even though I'm very much a people person. I think that's actually almost more of my personal life. And then I think looking back, the thing I would sort of tell younger me was like to look at my motivations, closely and understand what drove me to do certain things. I think I was pretty insecure when I was younger, and I still am. And I think that drove me to sort of maybe be an overachiever in certain dimensions that I don't know if if those were the right decisions looking back. Like I think I could have been a bit calmer in certain things and it would have all been fine.